Hello, I'm having a little bit of an allergic reaction. I need to distract myself while I wait for the curtain to kick in. So, in under 3 minutes, fingers crossed, I'm going to try to tell you my unpopular opinions about the Danish Deception. If you don't know what the Danish Deception is, look it up. I don't have time to explain it to you. Number one, I don't think the guy is that unattractive. When I saw his photo, I was expecting like a giant monster from when people were like, oh, and he's not even that cute. He looks like a fun-looking guy. Like, I'm not a great person to ask about the attractiveness of men in general, but if a friend of mine was dating him, I'd be like, oh yeah, he looks nice. Like, as long as they were an appropriate age to be dating a man that old. I wouldn't be like, oh, ugh. And also what's kind of funny is some of the people who were posting photos in the TikTok comments that were like, this is what I thought the guy would look like, were posting photos where I almost couldn't tell them apart from the actual guy. Like, and maybe it's just blonde boy blindness. That's actually kind of a tongue twister. Blonde boy blindness. Blonde boy blindness. Blonde boy blindness. But, like, I couldn't tell some of them apart. So, I don't think he's that unattractive, and also he's tall, and women love tall men for some reason. Anyways, number two. I feel like the $200,000 clearly was not that much money to Mr. Crypto and Cryptisha, Crypto's wife. I mean, calling her Cryptisha feels a little odd, but Crypto's wife. Honestly, because they didn't seem to care about it and they're still friends with her. Some people just have unhinged money. I went to a college that was very wealthy and on a smaller scale. At one point, there was this like scandal where a vendor stole a bunch of students' like bank account information, and 5 to 10 grand was like disappearing from these students' accounts. And it was money that in theory was gonna get refunded, but they were on the phone like, yeah, it's 5 grand. It's just a little upsetting. I didn't have that type of money in college to have stolen out of my bank account. And if someone had stolen money from my bank account, especially like 5 or 10 grand, I wouldn't be like, it's a little upsetting. I'd be losing my mind. And in the same way, I don't think $200,000 was that much money to them because they were chill with that. And because they're still friends with the girl. And I think that if $200,000 was so much money that they really were losing their minds over it, rather than the betrayal of, your friend's partner stealing money from you, then they would have expressed that, and they didn't. So I don't think that that is something people should really be hating on her for. Okay, 1 minute left. My final thing that people were really mad at her for that I disagree with so strongly is that she didn't seem sad enough while telling the story. She told the story the way she lived it, where she was happy, she was in love, and then everything falls apart. And I think she did that so that way other people who are going through the same situation can see it themselves reflected in her. If she got in here and started crying, was like, oh my god, everything was bad right away, I'm such an idiot, people who are currently in that phase of, oh, he's the perfect man for me, would never be like, I should think about the red flags, because they wouldn't pick up on the parts of their situation that are similar to her situation. So I think it's totally fine that she was happy and smiling and like seemed like she was in love, because it was her method of storytelling, and it also made the story way more engaging. Anyways, those are my thoughts. Let me know if you want a longer video on my unpopular opinions on the Danish Deception or any other topic, and hopefully my skin will clear up.